All right. All right, racers. Is this thing working? Hello? Hello? Hey, Doug. Doug Townsend. Where's he at? Doug. Doug Townsend. Can you help me with this microphone? Hello? I know, but it's super quiet. When the racing gets going, it's going to be super quiet. And I don't want to have to yell into the microphone. It's super quiet. Oh, was he screaming in it? I don't know how you all have it set up, so I don't want to mess it up. Can I get all my racers to the wall by the off-road pits for a driver's meeting? Hello? Oh, that's a lot better. Yeah, that's good, Larry. All racers to the off-road pit wall. The big white wall by the off-road pits. Make your way over there for a driver's meeting. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get my sportsman racers to the track, ready to race. I need my marshals from race number 5, heat number 5, 13.5 late model. Keith and Doug, you're my 2 marshals. I'm going to need 1 volunteer marshal. 1 volunteer.
Thank you. Yeah, always.
Can everyone stand up and remove your hats? There are a couple of flags situated around the oval track and one right above the vending machine. We will play our national anthem. Thank you for the reminder. All right, let's get our racers out to the track. Chase, Brandon, Jake. And let's get our 2 marshals from race number 5. That's Doug and Keith. We're going to need 1 volunteer marshal. There is 3 racers. I expect to have at least 3 marshals out here. If you are in the next race, I will give you plenty of time to get back out there to race. All right, the track is yours. Track is yours. Thank you, Matt, for helping. We're covered on marshals. Let's get our 3rd driver out here. The track is open for laps. You guys can start taking your practice laps. Watch the high side of turns 3 and 4. It is a little bit wet up there. Yep, you found it.
That sticky hand?
All right, shut the track down. Shut the track down. No more laps. Go ahead and park the cars in the center of the track. All right, Chase, can you cross the line for me? Just drive it across the line and take a lap. There you go. Now just park it back in the center. All right, Brandon, can you do the same thing for me? Yeah, you do not have a transponder in your vehicle. No, there's no transponder checking. Jake, can you cross the line for me? Brandon, if you want to check your car out real quick, you can. Someone want to help him out real quick? All right, let's get the cars going. Let's get them rolling. Let's get ready to qualify. Go ahead and get the cars rolling in a circle. Just keep the laps going. Go ahead and get the cars spread out. Get them spread out. The way qualifying works, you are going to try to run your fastest time. You are racing the track. This is a time trial, not racing any other cars but yourself. The race will go live in less than 5. All right, first one across is going to be Chase, Brandon, and Jake. All 3 of my cars are checked and going. First lap's going out. Going to be going to Chase Jenkins. He's going to be our leader. Oh, no, Brandon and Jake going to be going into the wall. So 4 laps into this one. Chase Jenkins out front. We're in a 40 and a 4-0. He is out front. He is the all-white, orange, and black Traxxas body coming across the front stretch. Getting a little mixed up with Brandon. Not going to slow him down hardly at all. Jake crossing the line then. He's the all-blue, white stripe. He's in the number 3 spot. Brandon and Jake crossing it up again. They're separated by about 8 seconds on the clock. That's almost 2 laps. So 1 minute into this one. 3 left to go. Chase out front. He's got a 10-second lead over Brandon. Brandon, the black and orange Traxxas Fox body, going down the backstretch now. All 3 of my cars are mixing it up. That was Chase getting out front and around him. He's on his 13th lap. Brandon on his 11th. Coming up for his 3rd lap on these drivers, that is going to be Chase. Still out front in the white and orange. Working the front stretch, crossing the line there. Going to take the inside on Brandon, get around him. Coming up on Jake. So 1 and 2, that's Chase and Brandon. They are separated by about 23 seconds. Brandon and Jake, that's the number 2 and 3 car. They're separated by almost a dozen seconds. 11.5 between those 2 cars. that last time by. Jake able to shave a little bit of time off. Gonna bring it to 9.8. Just ran his fast lap. 6.5. Chase taking about a second off of that lap. His fast lap, 5.6. He is the fastest car on the track and seems to be the most consistent, keeping it off the wall and off the pipe. 1:30 left to go on the clock. That's 2:30 down, 1:30 left to go. Chase out front, resetting that hot lap now to a 5.5. Brandon a 6.2. That's his fast lap, about 4/10 behind him. So Chase and Brandon separated now by about 30 seconds. Brandon and Jake separated by 13 seconds. So all three cars spreading out just a little bit more. 45 seconds left on that clock. Oh, Chase going to tag the wall a little bit. Not going to slow him down too much. Still ran a 5.5. Going to match his last lap. Resetting it that time by 5.4 out of him. Finding even more speed out on the track. Brandon in that 2 spot. Orange and black Fox body. Working the front stretch now. Coming through turns 1 and 2. Final 15 seconds on the clock. These cars tightening back up on the track. Chase working in between Brandon and Jake. Gonna try to get around them. Inside, outside they go. They got 2 more seconds left. There's the bell. Go ahead and keep taking laps. Keep taking laps. I will tell you when you're done. Keep on going. Keep on going. You're not done. 1 more lap. Cross the line and you will be done. That's a race. Race is over. Chase going to take that one. Brandon in the 2 and Jake in that 3 spot.
Yeah.
Race number 2, Sportsman, Heat 2 of 2. Cameron, Jack, Patrick, and Christian. So if you're in that last race, I need all 3 of my drivers back out to the track to marshal. So if you're in that last race, make sure you make your way back out here. Find a corner. We are looking for Cameron and Jack. I see them both coming up here. All right, track is open. Thank you for the volunteer, Nick. Oh, watch the front stretch. Watch the front stretch. All right, we have some of our fast guys out in this one. Cameron, Jack, Patrick, and Christian. You guys are going to be competing to beat Chase Jenkins' top qualifier of a 41.402. Let's go ahead and get those cars spread out. Let's get them spread out. The race will go live in less than 5. All right, Cameron, first one across. Jack, Patrick, and Christian. All 4 of my cars are crossed and going. All right, 3 laps being put down by all of my drivers. First couple laps in, Cameron Reisinger out front on his 4th lap. He is above that TQ pace on a 42.40. Patrick Rudder also on that TQ pace, 41.402. So first 45 seconds in 3:15 left to go. Patrick out front. He's in that blue and black, tracks his stock body, working the front stretch now. He is mixing it up with Christian. Christian in that red and black. He's in that number 3 spot. Cameron still out front, navigating traffic like a pro. In the color bomb, blue, orange, yellow. Coming down the front stretch now, crossing the line. That is our leader. He has an 8-second lead over Patrick. Patrick's in that number 2 spot. So 1:30 down, 2:30 left to go. Our leader crossing the line there. He is ahead of TQ Pace by about 2 seconds. He's on a 41.4 flat. Now on a 42.404. So he is ahead of TQ Pace. Oh, he's going to get it caught on a car. Gets it unstuck. That's very lucky for him. 41.40. So he does have about 2 seconds over that TQ time. All he has to do is keep it clean, and he will be our top qualifier tonight. Patrick Rudder in that number 2 spot. He's about 13 seconds off. Christian in that 3 spot, and Jack in the 4. So Cameron out front, color bomb, blue, yellow, red, working the back stretch now. Right in front of him, that's going to be Jack. Jack's in that number 3 spot. Oh, Christian's going to pull off the track. Cameron Reese setting that hot lap. 5.19. That's about 3/10 faster than Chase's time. Now Cameron dropping that pace down even more. He's got to a 42.402. About 1 lap ahead of the top qualifying time. Patrick still in that number 2 spot. Looking to put down a number 3 overall. Jack in the 3 and Christian in that 4 spot. 1 minute left to go. 3 minutes down, 1 left to go. Cameron still out front, keeping it clean and consistent. Oh, looks like Jack also going to pull off the track. So now it's just down to these 1 and 2 cars. Cameron, 42.4 flat, besting that time even more. Fastest car on the track, consistent 5.3, 5.4 out of him. Running a 42.4 flat, 1 lap ahead of that TQ time. Working the final 15 seconds of this race. If he keeps it clean, he will be tonight's top qualifier. Patrick in that 2 spot, running a 44.05. Looking to put down a number 3 overall tonight. There is the tone. Keep on going. Keep on going. Cameron, you are done. Patrick, when you cross, you will be done. That is a race. So Cameron going to take that top qualifying time. Chase going to be in the 2 and Patrick in that 3 spot. Oh. Yeah, I'll get a singer in a second. All right, if you were in that last one, make your way back to the track and Marshall. I had 4 drivers in that one. Looking for Christian Jenkins. Christian, if you're in that last one, make your way back out to the track. I'm covered on my Marshalls. Now is the time to make your changes if you want them. Straightaways are closed. Don't want any cars to get hit. If you're not making a change, go ahead and park it in the center of the track. Are we going without you, Dan? All right, we're going without him. All right, now we're down to 3 cars. Eric, Doug, and Larry. Go ahead and get the cars going. Get them spread out. Track will go live in less than 5. Oh, watch turns 1 and 2. Go ahead and spread them out. Spread them out. Less than 5. Eric, Doug, and here comes Larry. That's all 3 of my racers. Oh, watch the front stretch. Didn't get caught. That was Doug. Had a mistake right on the front. Not going to be too costly. Ran a 6.2 second lap. He's going to be 2 seconds behind the leader now. First 30 seconds down. 3:30 left to go. Larry out front. Running a 55.404. About 5 seconds behind him. Going to be Doug Townsend. And in that 3 spot, Eric Mason. About 1/10 of a second behind Doug. So that is our closest race on the clock right now. Going to be between Doug and Eric. Oh, Eric with a slow lap. Ran a 6.3. Going to separate him out a little bit. Now he's 2.5 seconds away from Doug. But Doug also having a little mistake. So now they're going to tighten back up. There's another one. Eric might be moving up to the 2 now. He does not. Half a second between these 2 cars. Oh, Eric's going to get real tight. Make sure to cross the line. Oh, he's going to pull back in the line. Larry's going to get through clean. Make sure if you do crash, I wouldn't try to pull back in the line. It is very dangerous for your other drivers. 1-3 down, 2:30 left to go. It's going to be a walk away for Larry. He's about 18 seconds ahead of Doug. Eric in that 3 spot. So Larry, he's in the blue and white, number 5, working the backstretch now. Gets right around Doug. Eric lets him by 2. Oh, Eric going to pull into him a little bit. Not going to check up for the leader. Going to give him all he's got. 2 minutes down, 2 minutes left to go. Larry Knight going to be setting the hot lap of the race. 4.2 out of him. Doug, 4.6. Eric, 4.7. So these cars not all too far off. Larry on a little bit of a different level. About 4/10 faster every single lap. So 1:35 left to go. Larry Knight besting that pace. He's got it now to a 55.403. Doug on a 47.401. He just reset his own fast lap. 4.5 out of Doug. Looks like he's struggling with a little bit of an over-rotation problem. Looks real good when he's at speed. But when he slows down, the car just wants to rotate. 3 minutes down, 1 minute left to go. Larry Knight out front at the back of this 3-car pack. Doug's going to let him by. Eric about 5 seconds off of Doug for that number 2 spot. Oh, man. Larry threading the needle. Eric getting loose and cutting back in. Getting real tight in that turn 1 and 2. So about 45 seconds left on the clock. Larry Knight still out front. Doug in that 2 spot. He's the black car with white trim, yellow wheels. Working the front stretch now. Eric Mason, purple and black, yellow wheels. Right in front of the leader. Lets him by. He's working the backstretch now. That's our number 3 car. Final 15 seconds working on the clock. Race number 4, you're up next. That's Stock Slash. One single heat of Stock Slash. You are up next. So final 5 seconds. They're going to get about 2 more laps from here on. There's the bell. Keep on going. No one done. Larry, Doug, and here comes Eric. That's a race. Race is over. Larry Knight going to take that 1. Doug in the 2, and Eric in that 3 spot.
Is it a traction thing? Is the track a little bit lower tonight? How is it, Larry? What time?
You ever do the inside? Pretty good. Calmed it down, didn't it? All right, if you were in that last one, make your way back out to the track to Marshall. Well, I'm going to need 1 volunteer. 1 volunteer Marshall. I had 3 racers. I need 1 person to volunteer. Oh, that's perfect. Found the pinion? Good deal. All right, let's keep the track closed. Let's keep them closed until I get my marshals back out there. I need 1 volunteer marshal out there. 1 volunteer marshal.
Hey, Jen, you think you could volunteer marshal for me?
All right, track is open. Track is open for laps. Oh, watch the front stretch. Watch the front stretch. Go wide. Go wide. All right, it's clear. All right. Let's go ahead and get the cars rolling. Let's get the cars rolling. We're going to get this one going in less than 5. There's the bell. Nick, Brent, Gatlin, and Matt. All 4 of my cars are checked. Oh, first lap. Matt going to get stuck on a crashed car. Going to spin out in front of him. That was Gatlin. So Gatlin and Matt going to the back of the pack. Looks like Nick also going to get caught in that middle. So Brent Farnsley, the only one with a couple clean laps, going to be out front. He is the gray, white, and black and red. Working the front stretch now, crossing the line. Working the back stretch now, 3 and 4. Coming up on the front, look out. Oh, crash car. It's going to break our leader. Our leader lost a wheel. Oh, no. Gatlin going to get stuck upside down and flip. Our leader going to collide with him and lose a wheel. So that's going to move Nick up to the point. About 5 seconds behind Nick is going to be Matt Sinex in that 2 spot. And Gatlin working the 3. Oh, man, no. Brent Farnsley in that 3 spot. Looks like the car still works. He's missing a little bit of steering, but he doesn't need it. 1:15 down, 2:45 left to go. Brent Farnsley defending that number 3 spot. Gatlin Neal in the 4, about 15 seconds behind him. So our closest race on the track. Oh, man, he's racing the cars that have functioning cars. Oh, watch 1 and 2. Go low in 1 and 2. Go low in 1 and 2. Oh, he's going to lose a shock. All right, so our leader, freshly moving up from the sportsman class. That's going to be Nick. He's in the blue, white, and black. Working the backstretch now. Tracks his stock body, putting in some work. Crossing the line there. Our closest race on the track between our 1 and 2 car with 1:45 left on the clock. It's going to be Nick and Matt. Oh, Matt going to catch a crashed car. Going to go into the wall a little bit. It's going to slow him down. Ran a 6.4 second lap. Nick, a little bit of heat off of his back. Those two cars separated by 2.5 seconds. So Nick working the backstretch now, coming up on the backside of Matt. Matt is running the faster laps. Nick with a 5.5. Matt with a 5.1. That time by. Nick proving that he isn't a push around. A 5.3 out of him. His fastest lap on the track. Matt Sinex with a fast lap of a 5 flat. He's chasing down that position. He's got the time settled to about half a second between the two cars. Now 4/10. Nick trying to defend it all he can. 1/10 of a second. Matt Sinex resetting his fast lap. 5 flat, 0.5. Now to the point. Nick in that 2 spot. Oh no, Nick gonna catch the wall. Gonna go tumbling into the wall. Gonna be sent back a little bit. So Matt Sinex with a comfortable lead. Oh, keep it together. Final 30 seconds. Matt now gonna lap the car. He was contending for the number 1 position. Now Matt Sinex, 8-second lead over Nick in the final 15 seconds. If he keeps it clean, he will be our top qualifier for the night. Matt Sinex, orange, gray, and black. Fox body. Working the front stretch now. Crossing the line. Turns 1 and 2. Down the back he goes. There's the bell. Keep on running. Gatlin, you are done. Nick and Matt, you are done. That is a race. Race is over. Matt Sinex going to best that TQ time with a 44.4 flat. Nick in the 2 and Gatlin in that 3 spot. Thank you for the volunteer, Jack. All right, let's get my racers back out there. If you're in that last one, make your way back out to the track. So, need a marshal from Brent, Farnsley, and Jack. I see Brent and I see Jack. That's perfect. Or Nick. Perfect. Have my marshals covered. Looking for my 2 other drivers. Doug was helping us out with the marshal, so he's given plenty of time. I see Keith as well. Thank you for being prepared, guys. I love that. Watch the front stretch. It's good. All 3 of my cars are checked. About 3 more laps, and then we're going to pull them over and make your changes. All right, straightaways are closed. Straightaways are closed. No more laps. If you don't want to change, pull it off in the center. All right, that's perfect. Let's get them going then. Go ahead and take your laps. Race will go live in less than 5. Dan Stewart going to be the first one across. Keith and Doug. All 3 of my cars are checked and going. Oh, Doug, didn't see what happened to him. Ran a 4.8, not too slow. Just heard something rattle over there. First 15 seconds down, 3:45 left to go. 5 laps down now. Oh, watch turn 2. Go low through turn. Dan Stewart getting through that wreck. He is our leader. He's got 1/1000th of a second over Doug now. Now Doug gonna take that top spot. Doug running a 53.402. Fast lap 4.4. Dan Stewart also matching that. Oh no, Dan gonna get stuck on another car. Keith as well. Didn't see what happened over there. Oh no. Two cars pushing out to the wall on top of each other. Getting caught. So 1 minute down, 3 left to go. Doug still out front. Dan's little mistake gonna set him back in that 2 spot. Keith in the 3. So Doug with a 4-second lead, or a 3.4 second lead over Dan Stewart. Doug is in the black body with white trim. Oh, Dan gonna roll over in turn 4. Keith now well in that fight for the number 2 spot. Just have to keep it clean. Dan gonna get right back around him. This is not the position Keith wants to be in. He is now in between the 2 cars that are faster than him on the clock. Doug, black body, white trim, white wheels. Working the backstretch now. Oh, catching a rut in the track or something. His car's going to violently roll in turn 1. Going to be a 5.6 second lap. He still has 5.5 seconds over Dan Stewart. He's going to get out early and going to try to walk away and keep it clean. 2 minutes down, 2 minutes left to go. This is our final heat of the night for qualifying. Doug Townsend out front, Dan Stewart in the 2, and Keith in the 3. All of my cars evenly separated, about 5 seconds between each and every one of them. Doug and Dan separated by 5.5. Dan and Keith by 5.5. These cars all matching hot laps, 4.4, 4.48, 4.5. So they all have the pace, just have to keep them clean and consistent. 1 minute and 15 seconds left to go. Doug still out front. He's working up the backside of Dan Stewart. They are coming down the front stretch now. Dan now 8 seconds behind Doug. Keith 6 seconds behind Dan. So the time spreading out even more as the race goes on. Oh, Keith getting caught on the pipe a little bit. Going to get spun around. Going to be a 6 second lap for him. Oh, no. Dan Stewart going to catch the rear end of a spun car. Going to spin him around and catch our leader as well. The time's only going to spread out even further. No harm, no foul. 30 seconds left on the clock. Doug running a 52.403. I believe Larry Knight ran a 55-lap race. So he is doing better than these 13.5 late models right now. He kept a pretty clean race all the way through. These guys struggling to keep the cars from spinning out. Final 5 seconds. They're about to hear the tone. Keep on going. I'll call you done. Doug, Dan, and Keith. Doug, keep on going. You are the only one live. That is going to be a race. Race is over. Doug, Dan, and Keith. My top 3 for the late model class. All right, it is 7:40. 7:40. If you all want 20 minutes of practice, 20 minutes of practice, we will run the track until 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock open practice. At 8, I will be shutting it down, and we will be getting back going at 8:15. Racing will start back at 8:15. Practice until 8. Racing at 8:15. I will have the timer going. So if you want to see what lap times you can make or any changes you think will be faster, now is the time. All right, it's 7:59. We're getting ready to come up on racing. Track is drying up. Race number 1 going to be the Sportsman B main. Looking for Jake, Jack, and Christian. Race number 1 to the track. Jake, Jack, and Christian. I see Jake and I see Christian. Looking for Jack. Is he in the building? You're good. All right, I need my marshals out here. Marshall is going to be from race number 6. Or race number 5. Sportsman A main. Cameron, Chase, Patrick. Cameron, Chase, Patrick, and Brandon. Cameron, Chase, Patrick, and Brandon. So we are looking for Cameron and Patrick out here for marshaling. And 2 of my racers, I see Christian. Jack is putting his tires on, looking for Jake. I see him. Still looking for 2 of my marshals, Cameron and Patrick. Cameron and Patrick to the track for flipping car duty. Oh, I see Patrick. Just Cameron then. You got it? What's going on? Oh. Yeah? Ooh. Yeah, no, you're good. It's fine then. Looking for one more racer. That is going to be Jake. Get that car fixed and out here. All right, I'm going to give you one more minute. Come on, let's hurry it up. All right, let's go ahead and get our practice laps. Let's go ahead and get them rolling. All right, all three of my cars are checked. Have all four of my marshals. Let's go ahead and close down the straightaways. Track is closed. No more laps. So the way this works, if you're new, I'm going to call you off in a lineup. So Jake, go ahead and pull your car up to the line. Just pull it right up to before the line. Jack, you're going to be in that number 2 spot. You know how this works. And Christian, you also know. Oh, let's not go yet. Let's not go yet. Go ahead and pull him back around. Just park the car at the line. Jake, you're going to be leading us off. I will tell you when to go. So Jack in that 2 spot and Christian in the 3. Oh, Jack is stuck. Help him out. So my 3 cars, half speed. Whenever you're ready, Jake, going half speed. Follow behind the other. When you get to turn 4, we will go live. And Dean, go ahead, full speed. Oh, first lap, Jake gonna hold it out front. Jack gonna roll it over, and Christian gonna try to get up front. Oh no, crash car out front. That was our leader. Jake moving down to that 3 spot. Jack out front. Oh, gets it up on 2 wheels. Christian now well within the hunt. He's gonna go high and spin out. He's got to keep it in the line if he wants it to be planted. First 30 seconds down, 3:30 left to go. Same thing going to be happening to Jake. Go high and spin out. Jack now, Sunday drive. He is out front. He's going to try to walk away with this one. 1 and 2 will be bumping as of Jack and Christian. Going to be our bumps into that A main. So 1 minute down, 3 left to go. Jack, hot lap, 5.39. Fastest lap of the race. Christian, 5.8. Jake, 6.2. Oh, diving a little in too hard goes Jake. He's going to get it sideways. Now 2 laps back. He's got to put his head down and put some clean laps together. Anything could happen with 2:30 left on the clock. So Jack out front. He's got 1 lap over Christian. Christian 13 seconds over Jake. So everyone's spreading out pretty good. 135 down, 225 left to go. Jack and Christian separated by 7.5 seconds. Oh, Jack gonna roll it over. Christian now gonna try to work back that lap he had on him. 6.2 seconds between them. Jake 15 seconds off of Christian. 2 minutes down, 2 minutes left to go. Jack working the backstretch now. Coming up on the backside of Christian. He is the fastest car on the track. Diving a little too hard. Going to catch a rut. Going to get it up on 2 wheels. Bring it back down. Same thing again. Oh, man. Driving on the edge. Christian going to ride the pipe 3 times. Third time's going to catch him and punish him. So 1:30 left on the clock. Jack running a 39.401. That's good enough to put him 4th overall if this was qualifying. Now 1:15 on the clock. 40.405 for Jack. 3.8 seconds behind him. Going to be Christian. Catching up a little bit. Not letting him walk away. 1 minute now left on the clock. Buggy Street Stock, you are up next. The A-Main for Buggy Street Stock. You are race number 2. Make sure your cars are ready. Oh, Jack with another slight rollover. Christian going to make up some time in that last lap. Jack with a 6.6 second lap. Christian with a 5.8. Jack going to roll it over again. Get it up on 2 wheels. Rolls it over. Doesn't find his wheels. Christian now well on his rear end. About 2 seconds off of him. Jake in between. He is in that mix, in that 3rd spot. Oh, he's going to spin out and catch our number 2 car. He was on a push to catch our leader. This is for position going into that A-Main. Jack still out front. Now with a 3.5 second lead over Christian. Final 15 seconds left on the clock. Sportsman B-Main going to be Jack and Christian. Looking to be our bumps. Final 5 seconds. Here comes the bell. And beep. Here comes Christian. He is done. Jack is done. And here comes Jake. That is a race. Jack and Christian going to be bumping into that A-Main. All right, need my marshals from that last one. I see Jack and Christian. Need Jake as a marshal back out here. There are only there are 4 cars out here, so I need 1 volunteer marshal. Jake, make your way back out to the track for marshaling. I'm going to need 1 volunteer. If you have a minute, go ahead and come out here and help me out. So, shut down the track. No more laps. Now is the time to make your changes if you want them. If you want to change, now's the time to do it. All right, let's get them ready. Larry, you're going to be out front. Doug 2, Eric 3, and Dan Stewart in that 4 spot. We have all 4 of our marshals. Larry, whenever you're ready, you are rolling us off. Blue and white, number 5, Larry Knight leading us off. Going live out of turn 4. He is live. Doug, Eric, and Dan following close behind. Doug with a pretty fast car, just struggling with some over-rotation. He's going to be getting it figured out in this one. It looks really good. 15 seconds down, 3:45 left to go. Dan and Eric, both of them, going to be riding that pipe a little bit. Oh, watch turn 2. Go low. Go low in turn 2. That was our number 4 car. He's going to be settled into that spot now. Oh, no. Doug going to get it on the pipe and get loose. Here comes Dan. Looking for that 2 spot. Doug not going to quite find his line. Going to spin out again. So now, Dan Stewart solidified in that 2 spot. Has 3 seconds over Doug now. So Larry and Dan separated by 5 seconds. Dan and Doug separated by 2 seconds. And Eric 6 seconds back to Doug. Oh, man. Looks like Doug really struggling to find some consistency out of that rotation. 1:10 down, 2:50 left to go. Larry Knight, oh, he's going to roll it over. Not going to hurt him too bad. Still has that 6-second lead over Dan Stewart. Now 7.5 seconds. Larry Knight, fast lap of the race, 4.22. He's working the backstretch. Now the front, crossing the line. That's our leader. Blue and white, number 5, crossing the line, going down the backstretch. Gets around Eric. Really quick line right there. 4.3 last time for him. Dan Stewart in that number 2 spot. Blue, red, and black. Number 26, working the front stretch now, crossing the line. He's in that number 2 spot. 2 minutes down, 2 minutes left to go. Doug in the 3, black and white, working the line now. He is at the back of that 4-car pack. Oh no, Eric gonna cross and go back in the line. Gonna catch our 2 and 1 car. Not gonna hurt him too much. He caught both of them. They're both gonna be settled back out. Larry and Dan separated by 9 seconds. Larry showing him how it's done. He's about to lap Dan for the 2nd time now. 1:30 left on the clock. Doug 6 seconds behind Dan. And Eric 15 seconds out of that podium position. 1:15 left on the clock. Your TQ, Larry Knight. He ran a 54.401 in qualifying. He's on a little bit slower, 54.401.9. So he's about half a second off of his top qualifying time. Way to keep it consistent. 50 seconds left on the clock. Larry Knight, Dan Stewart, and Doug in that number 3 spot. That's our top 3. Eric Mason, 17 seconds out of that podium position. Your 1 and 2 car. Separated by 10 seconds. That's Larry and Dan. Both of them blue and a little bit of white on Dan. Final 25 seconds. Larry, Dan, Doug. Larry going down the backstretch now. He's got that car pretty good figured out. Looks like the track drying out just a little bit. His car's going to work up just a bit of a push, but it looks comfortable and easy to drive. Dan Stewart looks like he's suffering from the same thing a little bit. And there's the bell. Dan, Eric, Doug, and there's Larry. All of my cars are done. Good race out of these guys. Larry, Dan, Doug, our top 3 for Buggy Street Stock. Huh? Wait, let me see. You had 4.227. So what's the fast one? Like a 4.1? And that was Brandon. And that's for the track not being on point. You're faster. 4 point. You got 600ths better. You get to go on the board, Larry. Did you run a bigger motor? All right. Let's get our practice laps going. I need my marshals from that last one. Need one volunteer. I need one volunteer. I need one volunteer marshal to help Doug out in turn 4. All my cars are checked. Thank you, Patrick. Matt, you're going to be leading them off. Go ahead and get yourself to the line. Nick, you're going to be in the 2 spot. Gatlin 3 and Brent. Working with that broken car in qualifying. Going to be starting that 4 spot. He broke a couple things, I believe. Snap the shaft. Really? Whenever you're ready, Matt. Whenever you're ready, Matt, it is on you. Going live out of turn 4. Oh, Nick. Not going to let him get away off the start. He's going to be riding his bumper through the start lap. Oh, but he's going to be pushing wide at Barnsley from the 4 spot to the 2 in the first lap. They don't even get off the out lap before getting past. Matt Sinex in the 1. Brent in the 2. He's going to let him know he's angry after qualifying. He's out for blood. Matt Sinex going to be holding off Brent Barnsley. Working from that 4 spot to the 2. Oh, Nick going to roll it over. He is in that podium number 3 position. Gatlin, that is your number 2 car behind you. Make sure to give him room. Woo, not like that. That'll work, though. 45 seconds down, 3:15 left to go. Your top qualifier, Matt Sinex, still running out front. He's going to try to go tone-to-tone in this 4-minute race. We're 1 minute down, 1 minute left to go. Matt Sinex, red, gray, and black. Working the front stretch now. Oh, Brent, going to catch a rut and roll it over. Here comes Matt, looking for the lap. 1:15 down, 2:45 left to go. Plenty of time on the clock. So Matt Sinex, he is running faster than his qualifying time. Running a 47.405, beating out his 44.4 flat. Nick, those are your leaders out front. Make sure to give them plenty of room when they come up on you. Thank you very much. Now you can race them and try to learn from their lines. 1:40 down, 2:20 left to go. Oh, Matt giving him a little bit of wheel. Love to see it. Rubin is racing in the slash class. Matt Sinex, 5.2 second lap last time by. Brent, 5.6. Now, faster, 5.19 out of him. 2 minutes down, 2 minutes left to go. Oh, Brent, gonna roll it over again. That car looks like it's riding a little bit high through that corner. Does not want to settle down and ride flat. So, Matt Sinex, fast lap, 4.98. Brent, 5.008. So, within a tenth of a second for these guys. Consistently in the 5.1s. with 1:25 left on the clock. Oh, Brent gonna roll it over again. Nick, not too far away now. It was 4 seconds. Now it's about 1.3 seconds between our number 2 and 3 car. One more mistake out of Brent, and it could be brutal. Nick, well within the hunt. So, Mass Sonics, orange, gray, and black, working the front stretch now. He is your leader. Gatlin, that is your number 3 car. Thank you. Brent Farnsley in the 2. White and red and black, working the back stretch now. Crossing the line now. Right in front of him is going to be Gatlin. Make sure to give him room, Gatlin. He's going to be trying to run away from Nick. He is stretching a gap. It was 1.3. Now it's 2.6. Nick not quite on the same pace as these guys. Did just run a 5.2. That was a pretty fast lap from him. His fast lap is a 5.19. 1/10 of a second slower than these guys. 15 seconds left on the clock. These guys are solidified on the podium, but the positions could change. Oh no, Nick gonna roll it over. That's gonna finalize it. Looks like Matt, Brent, and Nick gonna be your top 3 coming down to the final 3 seconds. Here comes Gatlin. He is done. Matt, Brent, and Nick. All 4 of my cars are done. That was race number 3. Next up, race number 4.
I run a 4.9. No, I run a 4.9. That's right. I thought it was 4.9.
It's there to stay. All right, if you were in that last one, make your way back out here. I see Nick, Gatlin, Brent, and there's Matt. That's all 4 of my marshals. Appreciate being quick out here. I have all my racers at the track. You are free to take your practice laps. My marshals are in their spots. The track is clear. All right, we're going to shut the track down. Straightaways are closed. If you want to change, you can pull it over to the wall. All right, these guys are ready. Doug, you are our top qualifier. You are starting out front. Dan in the 2 and Keith in that 3 spot. Whenever you're ready, Doug, you know how this works. Dan and Keith going to be following close behind. Oh, Dan, already starting off. No breathing room. Doesn't want him to walk away. Going live out of turn 4. I'm not going to lie. I missed the start button, guys. I missed the start button, and you guys kept going. I was really hoping, Doug, I was hoping you'd stay out front so no one would notice. All right, good luck, man. Let's see if you can do it twice. Whenever you're ready, I got my finger on the trigger. That is a good start. Dan already putting the pressure. You see, that was a much cleaner. Let's see it. Doug not going to be wrecking. It's going to be a race all the way through. Dan Stewart now to the point on the first lap. He did it in the last one. He's going to do it this time. 20 seconds in, 3:40 left to go. So Dan Stewart out front, blue, red, number 26. Working the backstretch now. Right behind him, going to be Doug Townsend, going to be in the black and white rims. Working the front stretch now, crossing the line. Keith in the 3, all white and orange. A little bit of yellow on the wing. So our closest race on the track, going to be for that number 2 position, or for that number 1 position, Dan and Doug. Separated by a second and a half. 1.5 on the clock between these two cars. 1 minute down, 3 left to go. Oh, man. Oh, no. Doug going to roll it over in turn 2. Oh, Marshall in the front. Go, Cole. Go low. Go low. Didn't even see it. Keith with a 12-second lap. He is solidified in that number 3 position. 130 down, 230 left to go. So Dan Stewart going to be taking down names in the 13.5 late model class. He didn't want it so bad in the street stock, but he's going to let him know he wants it here. So Dan Stewart out front. He is running faster than Doug's TQ time. Doug put down a 52.404. Dan Stewart on a 54.404. Oh, Doug going to catch the wall. Dan Stewart, another lap on the field. That's number 2. 2 minutes down, 2 minutes left to go. Oh, man. Dan going to jump the pipe and land it. Don't know how he didn't crash. Doug right in between that battle. Dan and Doug, 1 and 2, separated by 10 seconds. Keith, another 10 seconds back in that 3 spot. So these cars exactly even, 9.9 between all 3 of these cars each. So 2:30 down, 1:30 left on the clock. Dan Stewart, 54.404. He's got 2.5 laps on the field on a Sunday drive. He's going to have this one in the back so long as he doesn't crash or break. So it was 9.9. Now 10.6. He is the fastest car on the track, running a 4.35 fast lap. Doug with a 4.47. Keith, even faster lap, 4.45. So Dan and Keith, fastest 2 cars on the track. Doug lacking a little bit in the hot lap division, but he is in that number 2 spot overall. 45 seconds left on the clock. Dan, car looks super easy to drive. Oh, man, right as I say that, gets on the gas a little too early. Spins tire. 30 seconds left on the clock. None of these cars looking absolutely planted, but they are looking pretty fast. Coming down to the final 20 seconds. Dan Stewart still out front. There's not even enough time on the clock for these guys to pass him. 10 seconds now, an 11-second gap between them each. So, final 5 now. Waiting for them to cross the line. They're going to get one more lap. When Doug crosses, Doug, Dan, and Keith, all 3 of my cars are done. Dan Stewart going to take this one. Doug in the 2 and Keith in the 3. So, we're about to work our final race of the night. Race number 5, Sportsman A main. We have our 4 guys that went straight from qualifying into the A, plus our 2 bumps. Yeah, and you just flip there for 5. 5 seconds. And it's not like you can't hear the car flip over.
Yeah.
That's tough. All right, we do have a packed field, so I do want one Marshall in turn 3. Appreciate you, Jake. All right, track is open for laps. We have 6 cars in this one. So I already know it's not going to be perfect, to say the least. Looking for a check from Jack. Need a check from Jack. He was one of our bump ups. Is Jack still in the building? Oh, I see him. All right, let's shut the track down. Shut the track down. Let's not line him up until Jack gets out here and gets a couple laps of his own. All right, Jack, go ahead and take a couple laps. All eyes on Jack. Let's watch him. All right, let's shut the straightaway down. Straightaway's closed. Cameron, you are going to be out front. Chase in the 2, Patrick in the 3, Brandon 4, Jack 5, Christian 6. All right, we're going to take almost one full lap. Whenever Cameron starts driving, you're going to stay behind the car in front of you, just like a pace car in NASCAR or F1. Follow behind him. When we get through turn 4, you will be going full speed. All right, we're going to restart that one. Restart that one. So, Brandon, make sure you stay behind the car that's in front of you. So, go ahead and work maybe 1 or 2 laps before you really start to press for a pass. All right, let's get them back lined up. 1 and 2, Cameron Chase. 3 and 4, Patrick Brandon. 5 and 6, Jack and Christian. Whenever you're ready, Cameron. So half speed. Let's get them going slow and easy. Stay behind the car that's in front of you. And we're going live. That's a much better start. Oh, no, our leader going to roll it over in turn 1. He is pretty fast. I do believe he'll get back out there. Going to jump the pipe and roll it over. Second lap down. Chase gonna be out front. Looks like Jack gonna roll it over. Oh man, absolute carnage. Let him get sorted out. First 30 seconds down, 3:30 left to go. Chase out front. He's in the orange and white black. Working the front stretch now. Oh, watch the front. That was Jack. He was in that number 4 spot. Now back to the 5. Cameron with another mistake. He is in that number 6 spot. The racing is still very close. Not even a lap between these guys. So, Cameron, that's the leader behind you. You can still make it back up there. There's 3 minutes left to go. Just keep it clean and you can do it. 1 minute down, 3 left to go. Chase, Christian from the 6 up to the 2 spot. Patrick, he started in the 3. He's running in the 3. Jack up to the 4. Cameron in the 5 and Brandon in the 6. So your leader, backstretch right now, crossing the 3-4. Now to the front. That's Chase Jenkins, white, orange, and black. He's your leader. In the 2 spot. Now Patrick Rudder. He's in the blue and black. Tracks his stock body. Crossing the line now. He is 1 lap behind Chase. So Chase, 1 lap on the field. Christian in that 3 spot. About 2.5 seconds off. Cameron back up to the 3 now. Gets around Christian. Oh no. Patrick with a mistake. Cameron up to the 2 spot. Cameron started off in the 1. He's going to roll it over now. He's back into that number 4. Oh, Jack up in the mix too. So, Cameron down in the 4. Jack up to the 3. Patrick in the 2. Chase going to be walking away in this one. Now with about a 10-second lead over Patrick. 3-car pileup. That's our leaders. All 3 of them getting mixed up in each other. They're going to race it out. Christian going to be in the back. Now Cameron in the back. Jack up to the 2. Christian in the 3. Chase and Patrick 1 and 2. Jack in the 3. Christian 4. Cameron 5. 1:15 left on the clock. Looks like Patrick's going to have a little mistake. He's got 4 seconds over Jack. Now 2.5. Patrick's going to have another mistake. Here comes Jack. Jack is chasing that black and blue. Black and blue crashes. You're going to get into him. That was your number 2 and 3. That's a race. Jack up into the 2 spot. Never mind. Christian gets around it. He's the red and white black. Christian into that 2 spot now. Patrick with another mistake. Cameron up into the 4 spot. Patrick back to the 5. Cameron up to the 4. Jack in 3. Christian in the 2. Christian with a mistake. He's moving back to that 3 spot. Jack up to the 2. Final 30 seconds. Chase, 15-second lead over these guys. Jack in that number 2. Christian in the 3. Patrick 4 and Cameron in the 5. 3 seconds separating our 3, 4, and 5 car. Brandon going to pull off the track. Chase and Jack separated by 14 seconds. That's for the lead. Jack and Christian by 2 seconds. That's for the number 2 spot. Here comes the bell. Jack is done. Chase is done. Cameron and Christian and Patrick. That is all 6 of my cars finished. That was our final race of the night. Chase going to take the win from the 2 spot to the point. Jack from the 5 into the 2, and Cameron going to be falling back to that 3 spot. He's on the podium. Chase, Jack, and Cameron, your top 3. If you made a podium or a top qualifying position, make your way up front for podium pictures.